Good afternoon. I'm back again after a couple of unsuccessful attempts. So for those of you that know me and know my work, my name's Jenny Kovacs. I'm nicknamed the Queen of Being Seen because I help you to get yourself out there. I help you to stand out so that your clients can find you more easily. And I especially do this with professionals, with service-based businesses, and also with corporates too. So I just tried to stream from my backyard and it didn't quite work out, so I've just moved location. So if you saw me pop up a few minutes ago and disappear, I apologise, but you know what? I'm here now. And if you, like Celeste, is watching live, then do say hello. So she's said hello in the box below. So these are actually planned to stream at 1 o'clock for all of this week, apart from Friday where I'm at a speaking gig. So unless I can multitask and get you like a sneaky peek on the speaking gig, it might be slightly later or slightly earlier, but I'll make a video just in case so that you're not disappointed. Okay, so hey, it's Joy as well. Hi Joy, waving back at you. I've actually got another phone in this hand and a book in this hand. So today is all about visibility, and it's interesting because I often say to my clients and people that work with me for a longer period of time and more closely with me, I often say it's not just about visibility, but it's about visibility that sells your services. So as I speak to you now, I'm just, it seems to be interview central. I'm going to be interviewed a bit later on today from someone who's based in the States. So I'm getting a few messages from them. And regarding the speaking that I'm doing on Friday, which is live speaking, I'm getting messages from them as well. So if you can hear pinging, please forgive me, but I'm going to carry on. Now, these little nuggets are sort of 10 to 15 minutes long. So what I really want to be able to do is on this one, show you how to up what you're doing so that you're not just being seen everywhere and having people say, oh my gosh, I watch you on this, or I love your work, and they see you online or offline. What I really would love you to do is to have the kind of visibility that sells. And I am looking at this phone because I have plucked this straight out of my system. So let me orientate you, because a lot of you have been watching these who have never seen or heard of me before, and I really thank you for that. So basically, I'm the creator of something called the Visibility Vibe System, and I created this because I accidentally discovered in 2003 that there was actually a systematic way to become more visible so that more people know who you are, people, really grab your value and want to either pay you more if you work in a corporate setting, or pay you for your services if you're a business owner, and a busy one at that. So what I discovered was a 5-step system, and I'm just going to give you the 5-step system now. So grab a pen and write this down, or a pencil and write this down. I don't care if you write it on someone's back, on your hand, on the back of an envelope, in your lovely notebook. I don't mind where you write it, but I want you to make a note of these 5 steps, because you'll also see coming very shortly in the future, you'll also see that there are some webinars that are going to be coming up, some masterclasses that are going to be coming up. So if you're already getting engaged with this content and you love it, these are all free and I'd love you to join. So 5 steps to the system. Everyone's on the fountain pens at the moment in the Vibes tribe, love it. You've got the word vibes with an S on. So V is for visibility. Now, it could be visibility while speaking or presenting. It could be visibility on video. It could even be visibility on social media. But it's letting the people who really need what you do know who you are. And this is in a way that they come to you. So you don't have to say, hi, I'm Jenny, I'm a visibility specialist, come and look at my work. You don't have to do any of that. You show up so that those people who really need what you do can find you really easily, and you're like in front of their face, on their path, and they will know who you are. So V is all for visibility. And the way, and there's no secret about this, the way that I highly endorse you becoming more visible very, very quickly is by doing or adding one thing, and that's video. Now you might say, yeah, but you know, I don't want to be the next YouTube or Instagram person. But even when I was speaking at an industry conference just a couple of weeks ago, I was speaking to managing directors. I was speaking to directors of departments. I was speaking to business heads who all see the value of incorporating some element of video into their business. It is by far the quickest way for you to get visible. And for those of you that are in the Vibes Tribe, and especially in the inner circle, I've just been sharing how even just doing these alone, just for 5 days, and last week was a 4-week day, and this week is a 4-week day, how this has already got me bumped up and ranked on Google. Okay, so really, really easy and quick way to do it. So that's V. I is all about the impression you make, or the impression you leave, or the impact that you make. And this is really important, because when you make an impact on someone's life, it doesn't have to have the negative connotations sometimes associated with impacting on people. This is where you leave an impression on somebody and they remember you and what you do. I've had people that have remembered me and what I do, haven't needed me yet, and have come back to me a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, or even just sent people my way because they know that those people need what I do. And I know that you can have the same impact. I'm nothing special, and you know, I'm no special than anybody else. So I know that if I can do it, and I've found this way to, like, over and over again, despite algorithms, despite viewer watches, despite, you know, pay-per-clicks and all of those kinds of things, people will come back again and again. I know you can make an impact. I know that's what you're here for. And I know that you can leave a really good impression. And like Celeste loves videos because she hates writing. A bit like me, whereas I can see someone who's viewing this, you haven't put your name, so I'm not going to shout you out unless you say something in the box. But I know when I first met this particular lady, I was actually speaking live in London. And I know that she's written, I think, more than one book. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that you've written a few books, and I know that you love writing. So I know that this is an important thing. So remember, to make an impact or to leave an impression can be, and usually for people like you, people like I, is the impression that you leave on people. B is all about the biography. It could be your own biography. Your story is important. It could be the story of you. It could be the story of the thing that you do. It could be the story of the product that you've made. So the Vibe System was made because, hey, it's Philly, all the way from the other side of the world. Hello. So it must be late at night for you now, or early in the morning, one of the two. Hello. Oh gosh, I'm so excited. Anyway, the B is all about the biography, the story that you share. So the story that you share is really important for the people that are trying to find you. It's like well, why do I need to listen to this? Why would this be of interest to me? And a lot of people get so far into the system of what they do that they don't actually tell the story of why they're doing it. So the next part, E, is energy. About your vibe, really. Kind of, you know, if you're very serious and studious, then be very serious and studious. If you're happy-go-lucky and you say weird things and like me, like flapping your gums, then go ahead and do it. If you've got someone's Easter present sitting over your shoulder, very cute, don't you think? Then be that person. Don't try and whitewash yourself. Don't try and make yourself blend in with other people. As the famous saying goes, why try to stand in and try to blend in when you were born to stand out? So like Joy tried her very first one for her upbeat street dance, which I can imagine was immense joy. I worked with a client a few years ago who had a dance company, and video is great, not only for building the confidence of the students, but the confidence of other people too. So finally, this is where this particular live becomes really pivotal, and this is about selling. People often forget that when you have a service, you might want to sell it physically, as in exchange money for, you know. However, the other side of it is about selling your value, selling the value of what you do. And this becomes important. So the Vibe System, VIBES. Philly says, adding video has completely transformed a business. And I'm so thankful to you, Philly, because you you posted something, even though we've connected more on Facebook. Interesting how we've met, actually, and I think we'll meet in the flesh very soon. But interesting that we met on Facebook, and Philly just was kind of watching some of my lives that I did. However, she has been doing her own videos, her own Facebook lives, and adding video has completely transformed what she does, and the work she does is amazing. She's known as the Spiritual Tourist, so do check her out right here on Facebook and on Instagram or wherever you prefer to be. So Philly very kindly a few weeks ago left a really gorgeous post on my Instagram feed talking about how doing video has helped her. And what I loved about what you shared, Philly, was that you quite openly said, when I first thought about doing video, I was like, no, which is the reaction that a lot of people have. But you did it anyway. And I feel like you are conveying your value. Now, why am I ranting a little bit about this? This morning I saw something, a research that was published, I think via Sky News, that talked about the fact that when it comes to men and women, men will quite often not only ask for the pay rise, but get the pay rise. And the statistic was something like 60% of men, whereas in the same kind of comparable to women, only 40%. Now, I work with men and women. I work with men and women privately. I work with them in groups. And one of the things that I do see, unfortunately, is that men do ask for the pay rise. Men do receive the pay rise. And a lot of women just won't. There's other stuff that gets in the way. Because I work with both men and women, I don't treat one particular gender any different to another gender. But what I do realise is the way in which sometimes we can all trip ourselves up, myself included. And the Vibe system actually came from me making this accidental discovery where I actually quadrupled my salary in the space of 2 years, which I still haven't heard anybody else, of anyone else who's done anything like that. And I thought, well, it was just me. It was, it was just what I did, and it was just what happened. And what I learned years later when I connected the dots, when I joined the dots, was actually, if there are 100 people that came to work with me that wanted to be more visible, there are some of the steps that are similar and some of the steps that you just tweak and mould into what you want to do and how you want to do it. And it is really as simple as that. This is what led to the Vibe system. But on this video, I'm talking about visibility that sells. So there are 3 things that I want you to really kind of circle on that Vibe system. Visibility, number 1. If you are not visible, people don't know who you are, where you are. It's harder for you to grow your audience. It's harder for you to build your business. And it's easy for you to be credible, but just nobody hears about it. The second thing is about making that memorable impact or that impression. So here's the thing, if you are making an impression, and you can make an impression that actually really helps what you do or doesn't help what you do, but when you're making that impression, it's like you're in the hearts and minds of, it'd be good if I knew my heart wasn't there, my mind wasn't in there, but it's like using the, or leaving a really good taste in someone's mouth with the hearts and minds of what you are, who you are and what you do. I've seen Philly now a few times on her Facebook Lives, and if I can't see them live, I'll catch up on them, which is what I highly recommend anyone, who is likely watching this on the replay to do. But I know if somebody says certain things to me, I now know she's made a memorable impression on me, and I'll say, you need to go and seek this person out. Really, really important. So I love that you're making notes, really. And, Celeste, consistency is a bugbear for all of us, myself included, It's one of those things, and I like to help people when I have more time to work. I say when I have more time to work with you closely, because I get to find out a bit about your life, your business, and I know quite a bit about you already, Celeste. But how can we make consistency work for you rather than you trying to work the consistency? So that's what I would say on there. So on the Vibe system, the visibility, the impact, the making a memorable impression, and the selling conversationally. So a couple of weeks back, I actually did some training for the travel industry. Remember those things called travel agents? Before you started looking at Airbnb, there's a lot of myths about travel agents, and I want to dispel one of them. People think that travel agents get paid a gazillion in commission to book your holiday, when in fact they actually don't. I have worked in the travel industry myself, and the glamour of commission is glamour, very smoke and mirrors. But one of the things that we were talking about in the session is like, how do you conversationally sell? You know, I worked through the banking system, I trained salespeople, and I know all about, you know, the different consultative sales and all of those kind of types. But when you have a service-based business, that stuff doesn't work in the same way. You can't verbally pin somebody into a corner and talk at them until they buy the thing and you've like spoken them into submission. It just doesn't work. There are very many different ways to do it. So, because I promised that I would keep this short and sweet, I'm just going to check the time. We're at 15 minutes now. I just want to leave a little something for you to get your teeth into, to wrap your gums around, so that you can feel like you can just go out and start looking at least how you can do this. And what I will say about selling, the value that you add, or the story that you share, or the impact that you even make, is that I will be hosting a series of webinars in the not too distant future. First one I think starts at the end of this week, and then I will likely do another one the week after that. If you want to get in on this and you're not already on my list, so you're not already on the Vibes Tribes list, or you're not already on my thequeenofbeingseen.com/VIP list, I know Celeste is, she's a VIP, or you're not in my inner circle, then you will want to get onto these webinars. And if you can't make them live, register anyway, so that you can get the replay and get that sent out to you. So here's one of the things that I shared. I shared 7 secrets to successful selling. Glad that I said all of those S's without stumbling over my words. But here's the thing, this isn't about consultative sales or any of those kind of old paradigm types of sales. These are for people like you and I, who go out networking, who collaborate with people, who mix in groups. Even for my corporates now, you know, they are having meetings, sometimes over dinner, sometimes in a boardroom. You can't stand there and say, buy my stuff because of this. That stuff doesn't work anymore. So finding our own value and being able to sell it to somebody, I can't, with the best will in the world, I can't share that with you on a 15-minute live, but I can share it with you through the masterclasses and webinars that I'll be running, and I would love to. So would really love to do that. So one of the things, actually I'm going to give you two nuggets to take away. One of the things, like, think about the thing that you want to sell. Now, some of you have got lots of things to sell, and that's okay. If you've got lots of things to sell, literally write them, the different things out, almost at the top of a column. So, for example, you know, I have the Be Seen Academy, which I did a soft launch and opened it up to people that were already in my community. So there's the Be Seen Academy, which is an online academy you can access 24/7, do so many different things in there, and position yourself as an expert. I also work with people privately on a one-to-one basis. Sometimes it's for a day, sometimes it's for a 30-day period. You know, currently I'm coaching and mentoring literally a handful of people over a 3-month period. So there could be lots of different services that you offer. You could be running live workshops. It could be any of those things, coaching packages, high-end packages, lower-end packages, online packages. So write down the different things that you sell. And then take a good hard look and think about which one of those would I like to start really selling tomorrow. If it's one that sells well already, then pick one maybe that you want to get your teeth into. It could be that you already, like Philly, do readings for people, but you think, actually, I want to support them over a longer period of time, or I want to create a more kind of high-end package for them. Pick one, think about what you would like to do next, and pick one. So Celeste says, I'm still learning about the value thingy too. Packages, 3 different ones. So Celeste, for example, has said she's got 3 different packages. She would need to write down each one at the top of a column. And the reason that you'll need to do that is because when it comes to being visible, making an impact, telling the story, showing your vibe and your energy, and then selling, and S is also about speaking about the thing, there will be different nuances for each. When we try to sell all three of them in one go, then it gets confusing for the people, the very people we've spent all of this time marketing to and attracting, and then they're like, either I don't know what to do, or in their head they go, oh, that's not for me. And it totally is. Anyone ever felt that frustration? If you have, give me a thumbs up or love heart. You know, when you've been speaking to someone and they say, oh, it'd be really good if, you know, if I knew of somebody that could help me with video. And I'm like, that's me. Well, if I've spoken about videos and VIP days and speaking and, you know, putting yourself out there on social media and networking, then it's going to be a big mishmash. And that's what I see lots of people do. So once you've then got your three columns, pick the one. If one of them's selling okay, that's fine. Go for a multiple stream of income. Go for a different one, and then have a look at which one you would like to sell more of, do more of, have more fun. And you know, just as a caveat, sometimes I have clients that come to me and say, yeah, I want to sell this, I want to sell that. And then they want to like get the support with something. And then what happens is they come to me, they get the support, and they're like, actually, I don't like running group programs. I don't like when people keep emailing me, or I don't like working one-on-one because I'm being asked the same question by 50 people. I want to put them all in a group, and that's okay too. So Philly says, I was just saying today I'd like support over a longer time frame. Wow. Philly, I'd like you to work your magic and have a look at some stuff for me. So maybe that's a conversation that we should have. And by the way, if anyone is watching this live on the replay and says, I need to be having this conversation with Jenny, send me a private message to this page and I'll send you a link. There's some questions. Let's have a conversation. I don't do that. I'm going to give you a free coaching call. But what I do is really dig in deep and ask you some questions to diagnose if you need help, where you need help. And I've been calling these your get out there calls, because there's something that really helps you get out there. And for a lot of you, it's right under your nose and you think it's not there. And for some of you, these questions really open up what's next for you, what's new for you, what's great for you. So do that. So now you've written down your column of things that you offer, and you've written down the one that's going to really, that you want to go for, you want to get it out there. Then here's what you do next. You think about the people who are likely to want or buy your services. Oh, I'm getting a lot of love on the chat. Thank you so much. You think of the people that want to love or buy your services. That's the place to be visible first. It's really tempting. You know, people see me show up on Facebook, you know, hair not done, makeup not done, and think I'm going to do lots of Facebook stuff, when in fact their audience might be on Instagram, or their audience might in fact be on Twitter, or they might be over on LinkedIn. So here's the thing. You can choose to be visible right now, before the website's done, you know, before the Facebook page is populated or filled out, before the audience is grown. It really doesn't matter, but you need to choose to be visible. And once you've got those three columns, you've chosen the one that you want to go through first, then we start digging down. And this is what I really work with really deeply when I get my hands on you and we get our hands on each other, because then I can find out not just the demographics, but the psychographics of where are they, what are they doing. And this is when you start to receive the messages where people go, oh my gosh, she's inside my head. You know, be very clear on who you do want to work with and who you don't want to work with. This is you as a service provider. Okay, think about what keeps them awake at night. And I know that lots of marketers talk about this, but this is so fundamental. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I first started being visible was I was thinking everyone was saying in their head, I need to be more visible, I need to be more visible. No, they don't. But what they were actually saying is, I need to get my work out there. You know, I need more people to know about what I do. I need to literally make sure that I'm seen. It's my time to shine. You know, all of those sorts of things. So think about those things. And even for me, who teaches this stuff, who shares this stuff, and who does this stuff, I still do this on a regular basis. I still have a look. So when I had to run this session, which was called Conversations, so conversational conversions, people might have them on the phone, they might have them face to face, they might have them through video, they'll have them in a conversation. I still went back and looked at, like, what were the psychographics, where were these people likely to hang out. It's the reason why I've upped my speaking game even this year, although we're only in like the 4th month. So there's a lot of information in there. If you're like turning it around your head, you'll definitely want to join me on the forthcoming webinars that I will be sharing. Thank you so much for engaging. I'm just going to go back. So Celeste is saying that her audience is on LinkedIn. Completely. I actually think, Celeste, some of your audience is on Facebook, and I saw somebody that is definitely prime for you on Instagram. And this is not because of what the perception is of, you know, there's a perception of people, professional people. I work with a lot of professional people that move out of the boardroom space and into the more creative space, your Instagrams, Twitters, Facebook and stuff like that. So absolutely do explore where they actually are right now. And thank you for the comment. So Philly's saying, oh gosh, I'd love that. Yes, I'd love that. And Celeste, thank you, saying she's one of the best, RJ. Thank you so much for saying that. This helps me to own and cement my value that I put out there in the world even more. So that's it for now. I'll be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be back at 1 o'clock. So do come back here at 1. Bring a friend. Bring your lunch. And for Philly, I don't know what time it is where you are now. It must be, what, 9 at night, 10 at night? Maybe bring your pillow and your quilt, although you're going into summer there, aren't you? All coming out of summer. So thank you so much for that. Remember that if you do want to know what's going to be coming up with the webinars, you will start to see some links from me posted on this page throughout the week. I would love you to join me. Thank you so much for looking at this, watching this, and do share it with other people. You never know who needs to do it. So just so that I don't miss out your comments, Joyce says, thank you, Jenny. Would you say Facebook better for dance? This is the thing. It's not about whether Facebook is better for dance, although I have had dance tutors that have been on Facebook. Who are you teaching? This is where the demographics / psychographics is important. Is it a specific age group you're teaching? Where are they right now? Are they on Facebook? Are they too young? Are the people that pay for their courses, are they on there? I'll answer all of those sorts of questions in the webinar, just because we have more time. And I really don't like it when I just go, try this thing, and then run off and leave you to it. But that's the thing to look at, not should I use Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, like where are they? For some of you, it's networking, old school networking. For some of you, like me, that's why I speak so much, because I actually get in the room with people and they're there, they're in front of me. So give that a go. Joy, I would get you to dig into the psychographics and the demographics of like who the people are, where they are. And then that's the place to start. Celeste saw that thing too. Yes, exactly. You know what I mean. Touch my nose. Me and Celeste have got a secret conversation going on there. Philly says, thank you so much. I'll be joining up to the rest. Such good timing. Brilliant. And if you haven't seen these that I did all of last week, they're a lot shorter than this one. They're about sort of 10, 12 minutes, 15 minutes at the most. Do have a look. From last Monday, I started broadcasting them. Just scroll down on the page and you will find them. So thank you so much, Philly. Joy says, thanks, Jenny. You're so welcome. Celeste says, thank you. You are so welcome. And Joy has shared it. Thank you so much. Yes, 10 p.m. I thought it was late where you were, Philly. So thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you all again here tomorrow. Oh, by the way, I think my interview is going to be done on Facebook Live. I'm not sure if it's going to be pre-recorded or live. And if that's the case, it's due to be out UK time around 5:30, which will make that about 3.5 hours from now. So Philly, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't recommend that. But for the rest of you, if it's going to be live, I will post something on here so that you all get to see it too. Thank you so much. And I will check in again with you tomorrow. Bye for now.